Hey, how's it going out there, everyone? My name is Brandon, aka Scourge of Vinyl, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the best of 2018 as it pertains to splits, demos, 7 inches, EPs, anything that's not a full length, basically. I like to do these separate just because you're getting a much smaller sample size, and I don't think it's fair to lump everything together. That's just my opinion. It's the way I do things. Oh well. So, got some tapes, 7 inches, CDs, LPs. Let's get right into it. This is in no particular order, by the way. This is Noose Rot with The Creeping Unknown. This got put out by Sentient Ruin this year. Adam Clemens from Skeleton Witch and Wolfhammer sent me this as part of a tape trade. Yes, tape trading still exists. He is accompanied by the drummer of Gatecreeper and then one other member, and they've created some awesome death metal with hints of doom sprinkled in there. Reminds me a lot of Vastum, and I fucking love Vastum. And 4 songs on this tape. What an introduction. I'm eager to hear what comes out of this project because this is some seriously good shit. I fucking love death metal. I love good death metal, and this qualifies. Very strong tape, very strong introduction to Noose Rot. Up next we have Phrenolith. This is the promotional tape from Maryland Death Fest this year, 2018. 2 tracks on here, which ended up becoming the Ornamented Dead Eyes 7-inch. Triumphing Blight and Ornamented Dead Eyes. Outstanding. I wish this was longer than 2 songs because both songs are fucking incredible. I think Phrenolith is hands down one of the best current death metal bands going. The whole Danish scene, Killtown, Copenhagen, just churning out fucking incredible bands, and Phrenolith is just one of them. If you weren't fortunate enough to grab a tape copy at Maryland Death Fest, the 7-inch was put out. Not entirely sure by what label, but I'm sure you can get it from like Extremely Rotten, Dark Descent, all the usual suspects. Definitely check those 2 songs out. Here we have the first demo from Blasphemagotochrist, entitled Black Metal Warfare. Quite the name, but considering it is members from Blasphemy, Goat Penis, and Antichrist, hence Blasphemagotochrist. Put up by Ross Bay Cult and Nuclear Worn Out Productions. Awesome debut material from this. Probably the closest thing you'll get to new Blasphemy material, maybe outside of Death Worship. Black Winds from Blasphemy lends his vocals to both this and Death Worship. So, and I don't think there will ever be a new Blasphemy album, nor do I think there should be. But this is awesome. You get some really strong Goat Penis vibes from the guitar work, some killer drumming. Awesome to hear Black Winds' fucking wretched vocals over the top of this. This was a killer debut demo. I really like it. 7 tracks. I think a couple of them are more on the instrumental side of things, but especially songs like Tyrannic Empire, Fire Demons of Blocula. Great shit on here. I was really looking forward to hearing the material from Blasphemagotochrist. Ridiculous name aside, and it did not disappoint at all. On to a couple CDs. This is Cyst with The Frozen Casket. This is a Russian death metal band. This was put out by Redefining Darkness and Reaper Metal Productions. And if you haven't already, you should subscribe to the Reaper Metal Productions mailing list. I think you can do so by going to their Bandcamp. And I think like about once a month, maybe more or less frequently, they will send out an email offering downloads for you choose the price. So essentially free. You can give something if you are so inclined. But that is how I found out about Cyst. And I gotta tell you, for an EP, 5 songs, plus there's 3 bonus demo tracks on here, this shit fucking blew me away. It sounds like early Obituary, even the early Executioner days of Obituary. Super thrash influenced death metal, some John Tardy style vocals thrown in there. For a band from Russia, really, really great. They emulate that style perfectly. It doesn't sound like a carbon copy. It still sounds like a different band, but with obvious influences, and that to me is more than okay. I love that shit. And this was one hell of a listen. A lot of fun listening to this. Death metal, Cyst, The Frozen Casket. Then we have EP from Destroyer 666 called The Wild. 3 new tracks and then a re-recording of Trialed by Fire. I normally don't care for re-recordings, but I felt like they did that one justice. When I saw them early on in this year, when they were touring with Watain, they played, I think, 1 or 2 songs off of this. Sounded great live. And this is just more of the same from D666. If you like their style of blackened thrash attack, I mean, I don't see why anyone would dislike this. If you liked Wildfire, especially, it's more in that vein. Released by Season of Mist in 2018. Great to have more material from Destroyer 666. I'm never gonna be like, nah, I don't need more D666. Here we have a 7-inch from Catalyst. This is called Passage into the Zazanath. As far as I know, this is older material. I believe it was even intended to be on a split with Blood Incantation, but that split never materialized, so that track was just hanging in limbo until it got released on this 7-inch. On the B-side, there is a cover of Beneath the Crypts from Crematory. Not the shitty Crematory, I'm talking about the old school Crematory from Sweden. And if you've never heard Catalyst, they're a Demilich clone, but they do it so fucking well. It's incredible. The musicianship is just so, excellent. Just excellent. Really great technical death metal. God, I wish there were more bands doing this style as good. I mean, there's a lot of bands that are kind of aping Demilich and the old Finnish sound, but maybe none better than Catalyst. This was put out by Profound Lore. Got the nice red 7-inch vinyl. And this might have been my favorite split of the year. Vastum and Spectral Voice, put out by Dark Descent Records. I love the old school representation of this 7-inch. Inside it has a sheet that looks like it was old school Xeroxed, just total bare bones presentation. The very nice blue vinyl to match with all the color schemes going on. And I love Spectral Voice, but I might love Vastum a little bit more, especially when it comes to this split. The Vastum track, Gagging on a Gash, is fucking brilliant. Whenever I put the 7-inch on, I found it very difficult to flip it over and listen to Catabatic Depths by Spectral Voice, just because I wanted to keep listening to Gagging on a Gash. I love this split, but especially the Vastum track on here. Then we have a split between Finland's Gorephilia and Denmark's Undergang. Before I get into talking about this record, Gorephilia's vocalist Henry very recently passed away. He took his own life. And I don't tend to get too deep or political in here, but suicide is very real, and if anyone close to you, any friends or family are out there and you know that they're struggling, don't sit idly by and just watch whatever happens unfold. Something as small as reaching out to them and letting them know that you're there for them can make a world of difference. So it's very sad. That's all I'm going to say about that. But back to talking about the music itself. I love Gorephilia. Severed Monolith was my favorite record of 2017. Both tracks on here are fucking outstanding. I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce the Undergang track, but Gorephilia with Tranquility of War, Perpetual Chaos Vortex. What a track. Again, I probably liked the Gorephilia side of this split a little bit more. This was put out by Misako Un Oho. It's probably still available in some capacity. I don't see why not. And if you can find it, get it. It's a fucking perfect split. I've got a couple LPs here, but in EP format. This is Germany's Horn with Retrograd. And this was my introduction to Horn. They play like a folky pagan style of black metal, which isn't typical of the style of black metal that I listen to. It was put out by Iron Bonehead, and I trust pretty much whatever Iron Bonehead puts out. I remember checking out a track or two on Bandcamp, liking it a lot. I was impressed a lot, so I ordered this. And I was not let down in the slightest. I listened to this EP a lot. Nice bone white vinyl here. And I have listened to some of Horn's other material. I my knowledge of them is limited, but I do know that this EP was fucking brilliant. And that's really all I need to say about this. I don't listen to a whole lot of pagan style black metal, so I don't have really a whole lot of bands to compare them to. But if you like that style, and if you haven't heard of Horn, start with this, because it's a quick, easy listen. It'll give you an idea of what Horn is all about, and it's really fucking good. And then I have my favorite 2 EPs of the year here, but before I talk about those, I want to mention a couple that I don't have physical copies of yet, but I wanted to include on this. First of all, being Mortuary Punishment. My buddy Brian from Zabalba started his solo project. The demo is called Pride, Power, Punishment. It is a representation of Pomona, California, where he calls home. It is death doom, heavily crowbar influenced, some real fucking ass beating riffs in there. A really great start for Mortuary Punishment. I'm excited to see what comes of that, and I'm super proud of him for making that happen. I know it's something that he's wanted to do for a while, and people are fucking into it. You should be into it. I will leave a link to most of this stuff down in the description, so please, if you're interested, go check that out. And then the new Revenge EP, which is entitled Deceived, Diseased, Miasmic, I think. I wish I had it in front of me so I could get that name right. I hope I did. But I've listened to it. It's fucking amazing. It's perfect revenge. It's exactly what you want from a band like that. Chaotic drumming, frenzied riffing, unhinged vocals. It's revenge to a T. So super excited to eventually get that in my possession. But on to a couple of EPs, which I've talked about on this channel before. Haunt with Luminous Eyes. I've talked about Haunt a lot here on this channel. I've talked about Luminous Eyes here before. Traditional heavy metal. If you like stuff like Manila Road or Jag Panzer, Iron Maiden even, all the old classic shit, you're going to love Haunt. They came out with a full length this year as well, so a busy year for Haunt. They went on tour with Toxic Holocaust. Good things happening for Haunt. This put out by Shadow Kingdom Records. I have the cassette tape for it as well. I listened to the tape an infinite amount of times. I couldn't even tell you. Probably one of my most listened to releases of the year. Haunt, Luminous Eyes. And then the last one is from New Mexico's Superstition. If I were to rank these, this would be a good candidate for number 1, along with Haunt. the LP version released by 20 Bucks Spin. I have the self-released cassette version. Just 4 tracks. There's some cool interlude type of stuff in there. Really fits the whole mood and vibe of this recording. And man, I need more. I need more Superstition. They just released a rehearsal tape. I have that one as well. But what a fucking burst onto the scene recording. Fantastic death metal, super riffy, really like dark early Morbid Angel, like Morbid Angel demo inspired type shit. Just a phenomenal fucking debut for this band. Superstition with Surging Throng of Evil's Might. Out of all of this stuff, this is the one that I would recommend you listen to first, and I don't even have to tell you the most, because if you listen to it once, you're going to listen to it over and over again. So that's it. I'm sure there's plenty of other shit out there. I'm only one person. I can only listen to so much, but I wanted to highlight some of the smaller releases, some of the EPs, demos, splits, stuff like that, because typically stuff like that gets left off of your end lists, and I feel like there's a lot of quality material that comes in a smaller package. So I'm more than happy to sit here and talk about it. I really enjoy, when people tell me they've discovered a new band or a new album from watching my videos. That's kind of why I do it. So I hope you find something that you like, and thanks for tuning in to my channel. Thank you for continuing to like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next time, take care.